Okay, in this video, I will cover this judgment by the Delhi High Court of this year in June. And in this judgment, there is a divorce petition in family court wherein husband has produced a compact disc with an audio recording where his wife is supposedly talking with her lady friend, and it is alleged that she is talking about the husband and his family in a derogatory and defamatory manner. So the husband has filed this audio recording, which was taken secretly as evidence of cruelty on him. Now, this judgment with all the important paras have been highlighted by me, and you can read this complete judgment. Download it and read it. The link is given in the YouTube video description. I will cover briefly the important points of issue in this judgment and how the Delhi High Court has decided on what needs to be done as per the right decision under the laws of India. So basically, the case is that can wife's audio recording with her friend, which was taken secretly, be allowed as evidence in a family court dispute? So let's have a look at what are the various issues in this case, and then how did the court decide, what are the main issues as per the court under the various laws, and then what are the main points of the judgment. So basically, one of the important points is that in general, audio and video recordings are allowed as evidence, and they are basically electronic evidence. So you may have to submit a section 65B certificate to allow the electronic evidence to be taken on record. But that's about it. There is no bar in law, under law, that audio and video recordings cannot be submitted. Now, many people raise this point that audio recording is not very useful because the opposite party will challenge it. Well, that may take more time, but there is a way to avoid that. In this judgment, also, the family court has said that if the audio recording authenticity is being challenged by the wife, so let it be assessed by the forensic science laboratory. So that can be done. It is not, such a insurmountable hurdle. It's very much possible. Now, what about the legality of evidence which has been obtained illegally or unethically in this case? Because there is a allegation by the wife that it is a violation of her privacy. If you read the judgment, that's the one of the contention by the wife, that um, this right to privacy is available not only against the state but also against private individuals. So basically, her husband. So, can constitutional law be invoked to disallow this kind of evidence in the court, specifically in the family court? So, this is the main point of this challenge, because the family court has allowed this evidence in the family court proceeding, but so the wife has challenged it in the Delhi High Court. So, this matter has been decided by the Delhi High Court in favor of the husband. So they have upheld the judgment of the family court. Now we will have a look at what were the main issues which the Delhi High Court has thought of adjudicating upon. So this is from para 15, which I have copied and pasted here. Basically, the points which the Delhi High Court has looked at is regarding admissibility of evidence, and whether section 14 of the Family Courts Act, what it is and what are the provisions, and how does it impact the admissibility of this type of evidence. Then whether the constitutional bench judgment in the Puttaswamy case for right to privacy, whether this will affect the admissibility of this kind of evidence. Going further, what is the importance of a special law over a general law, and what is the importance of a later statute over an earlier statute. So basically, the Family Courts Act is a special law, and the Indian Evidence Act is a general law. So, and also the Family Courts Act is a later statute. So this point will be looked at. So the other point which the Delhi High Court has looked at is whether the constitutional rights and principles need to be looked at, or only can be decided based on only on the principles of evidence. Finally, whether ethical and moral considerations have to be factored in for deciding admissibility of this kind of evidence. So I have highlighted all these portions, important points. There are various very good case laws in this judgment covered by the in this judgment. So if you read this judgment, you will have a good understanding of Indian Evidence Act and admissibility of evidence. It briefly covers Section 65B also. It covers Family Courts Act Section 14 and 13. So you can have a look at all these highlighted points. You can download from the YouTube description, and I will not go over all this judgment because that takes a lot of time, and I have covered that in another video which is about 25 minutes long. So if you want to go through the details of my my own commentary on this judgment, you can go through that video which is 25 minutes. So in this video I will quickly cover the main points of this judgment. So it says the main points are that Indian Evidence Act already allows evidence to be taken on record even if obtained illegally. This has been covered in this judgment, and it has covered various judgments of Supreme Court and High Courts which have already said that illegality of how an evidence is obtained is not a bar on its admissibility, and constitutional principles need not be applied. So unlike laws of other countries like US, where if you violate someone's privacy, sometimes that evidence can be totally rejected, but that is not the case in India. So that's a very important point what everyone should remember. And the right to privacy is a fundamental right as per the Puttaswamy judgment, but it is not an absolute right. So this has been that's the reason this has not been, this contention taken by the wife has not been taken, given the weightage um, as desired by her. So it has been overruled. And an important phrase has been used in this judgment: right to fair trial. For husband in this case, it has been given more importance than violation of privacy of wife, which has been considered as a personal right. So basically it says that right to fair trial is a public good. It's like it affects public justice, and violation of privacy is a personal violation. So if you want to balance both the rights, right to fair trial has been given more importance. So this sets it as a principle, so people can use it in other cases also, in case there is a conflict between violation of privacy on the one hand and right to fair trial on the other hand. Going further, basically the family code has, the Delhi High Court has looked at the Section 14 of the Family Courts Act in sufficient detail, and it has given valid and good points on that section of the Family Courts Act. And it says that Section 14 of the Family Courts Act already gives the family court several powers to allow for evidence which may not normally be taken as evidence under the rules of Indian Evidence Act. And again, it has used the provision, because Family Courts Act is a special law, and Indian Evidence Act is a general law. So, and also it's a later law. Family Courts Act came in 1984, whereas Indian Evidence Act, I think it started in 1872 and then various amendments. So in any way, it's a much older law than Family Courts Act. So on both these grounds, this evidence has been allowed for the family court. Now the other point is, a person whose privacy has been violated, or who alleges that this evidence was obtained illegally, that evidence may be allowed in the court, but the person is free to take action against the accused, the person who has obtained that evidence illegally or unethically, both in civil or criminal trial as per the facts of the case. So this point has been mentioned very clearly in this judgment, that so the two things have been separated. The evidence can still be allowed, but the person who has been who feels that his or her privacy or evidence has been obtained illegally, they are free to approach a civil or criminal court if such a scenario arises, and to take action. But that will be a separate case. So you can download this full judgment from the YouTube description, and you can go through the full details. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.